We all just saw what happened in Game 2 of this year's Western Conference Finals. Devin Booker looking like an absolute bloody mess as a result of a nose injury, just like what Steve Nash went through in 2007. I know any player is vulnerable to this kind of injury, but for it to happen to a key player on the Phoenix Suns again during the playoffs, and literally in the same building, is insane. Also, what are the odds that somebody just so happened to be wearing a shirt of Nash's incident in this same game as well? Was she trying to give us a warning sign? I mean, that just seems like too random of a shirt. Well, that's a conversation for another day. I also realized something else as soon as this went down. You know how Booker would want nothing more than to have a career just like Kobe's? Well, with this injury probably causing Booker to need a face mask next game, here's his chance to go out and have a signature performance while wearing a mask, just like his hero did. So in this video, I figured why not talk about the leftovers I had from part 1 of this topic that for some reason I didn't include, along with some new ones that I happened to notice since. This should be quick, so enjoy the video. Just recently, in the first round of these playoffs, Kyrie Irving broke Evan Fournier's ankles so bad that he puts him on his knees. That must have been pretty humiliating, and I bet that's exactly how Paul Pierce felt when Joe Johnson basically did the same thing to him, as he also went to the ground. Now, notice anything interesting that these two plays have in common? In both cases, the offensive player doing the crossover was on the Brooklyn Nets, while the defensive player were both Celtics players. I instantly thought of the Pierce one when I watched the Kyrie one live. I'm surprised no one really brought this up when it happened. They both looked absolutely silly. Now, I don't know how I forgot to mention this one in part 1, so I might as well right here. This one is pretty well known. Kevin Durant pulling up for 3 in Game 3 of the 2017 NBA Finals to help give Golden State a 3-0 lead in the series. And as we all know, it happened again in Game 3 of the 2018 Finals, in virtually the same spot on the same court in the final minute, to once again give Golden State a 3-0 lead in the series.
Well, that's the same spot where he hit it in Game 3 last year.
After the Houston Rockets drafted Akeem Olajuwon with the #1 pick in the 1984 NBA draft, the Portland Trail Blazers were up next with the 2nd pick. And in their mind, it was actually a pretty easy decision. They went with Sam Bowie instead of Michael Jordan because they already had Clyde Drexler, but we all know how that turned out. Fast forward to 2007, you would think that the Blazers would have learned from their mistake in the past to just go ahead and draft the more gifted scorer this time, but apparently they didn't learn their lesson at all, as they once again thought that the big man was more worthy of drafting. Both cases have similarities, not only because MJ and KD both wound up being 2 of the greatest players of all time, but also because the 2 players they ended up picking instead, Greg Oden and Sam Bowie, would both have their careers cut short due to injuries. That's pretty depressing just thinking about it. Remember when Lonzo Ball had a front row seat to a fight between Tyler Ulis and his teammate KCP, as he just walked away and decided to not get involved? Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but during his brother LaMelo Ball's rookie year, he also witnessed his teammate get into a little scuffle in kind of the same spot on the court, as he was pretty much the only one standing around watching, just like his brother Lonzo was doing. I guess the Ball brothers are not really all that confrontational. A stretch, you might say? Maybe, but I thought I was pretty cool when I put 2 and 2 together. I mean, those 2 incidents happened to go down in the early stages of both of their rookie years. I don't know why, but I always tend to notice little details like that. And last but not least, a lot of you guys in the comment section of part 1 were saying that I forgot to mention a good one, and I agree, it is a pretty good one. And so since you guys explained it perfectly, I'll just go ahead and show one of those comments here for you all to pause and read for yourself. Alright, so yeah, a pretty short video again, but you'll be surprised how much work goes into making these kind of videos. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.